One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his step, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Whistlers report he paves his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Well, we're already off to an amazing start. Much love and respect to the legends up in the building. Much love, honor, respect to you guys in the Breakfast Club. Always an absolute honor, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful morning on New Year's Eve morning, by the way. So big W to you guys in the chat, by the way. So we've got some crazy shit to go over this morning. It's actually kind of going to be like a 2-3-parter. It's still not going to be like a super long live stream. It'll probably be about an hour. But there is a lot going on. Not only what you guys see up here, Yemen's Houthis target Israel's Ben Gurion airport and U.S. military assets amid growing tensions. So that was the original headline early this morning that I came up with. And I found out that, believe it or not, the Houthis have attacked, the United States, because the Houthis attacked U.S. military assets. The U.S., attacked the Houthis this morning. So we're going to go ahead and discuss that. But before we get into like all the craziness, we got to do our call outs real quick. Please make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new, hit that subscribe button. It's also free. Also, if you guys would like to help out the channel, of course, everything is going to be shouted out monetarily. Super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups. Those are all shouted out. But of course, if you want to skip the brutal 30% YouTube cut, we have these scrolling for the remainder of the show. And I have a special shout out regarding that this morning. But I'll get back to that 1 second. So please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. We made it very affordable for everybody. And guess what? Every single Saturday morning, 10 a.m. CST, we have members only live streams for you guys in the Breakfast Club. And guess what? We get to be quite a bit uncensored over there. So consider it, man. We got, last but not least, in the call outs here. Make sure you guys follow my Instagram and hit me up over here at BallVolveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show and Millennial Food Time. This is where I correspond and direct message everybody. It's kind of like what I use for a Discord, but anyways, I have Discord. I have a Discord server. If you guys are interested in that, hit the link below in the description for the Discord. All right. Appreciate you guys. All right. We're about to get into some of the craziness, man. This is a lot to talk about this morning, but first, I really want to address you guys in the chat and give you guys a happy New Year's Eve morning, message to you guys. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you guys decided to be here with me, and that there is nothing more honorable for me, and I couldn't be more grateful for your guys' help and support. Just being here to support. Pitbull gifting out a membership, as well as, holy shit, we got Tats coming in with another gifted membership as well. And Pitbull coming in saying, have an amazing New Year's Eve and have a great year. Hey, Pitbull, thank you for the £2. We like British pounds over here. I may not like your government, but I like your money. You know what I mean? So, hey, Appreciate you guys. Much love, honor, respect to all of you guys. We got Pablo up in the building. We got Hardwire as well as Tiffany. Good to see you. Brother Steve Easy, always good to see you. AU up in the building as well as Allegedly. Good to see you, ladies and gentlemen. KP, always good to see you, man. Vengeful Truther, always, man. What's up? We got Hank as well as John Burt. Tats as well. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us. We got brother GEG. Always a fucking crew, man. It's always a crew up in here. Legend in the making, day by day. That's right, Barbie. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you like the little tune. Now, you know that I made that tune about I don't know, about 30 days before I moved to Alabama. I made that in California. Yeah, funny enough. You know, just I guess a little behind the scenes, so you know when it happened. So, let's see. We got Mike hasn't introduced his sister yet. You mean my cat? You know what I mean? She follow Mike's Only Nubs page. Yes, right, exactly. For all you freaks, get down. Yeah, it's only $4.99 a month over there too. No, I'm just fucking kidding.
Not the cap.
Come on, man. We got Brother Shadow. Always good to see you, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful morning. Pablo, good to see you as well, man. I see that you changed your profile picture. What's up? All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. There's a few of these reports that we're going to be doing that are not as long as you guys may think. They're actually very quick. So it's not like there's a huge, humongous report on all of these. It's actually kind of breaking as we're speaking right now about it. So there's only about 3-4 minute clips as we go along. And then, of course, we'll go into the majority of the meat and potatoes of this shit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. This is off of WION. And let's see what they've got to talk about in regards to the airport and our title that we've got here, and also them attacking the U.S. military asset.
So as tensions continue to escalate between Israel and Yemen's Houthi group, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis have said that they fired 2 missiles at Israel just hours after the Israeli military said that it had intercepted a projectile that was launched from Yemen. The Houthis have targeted Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport and also a power station in the southern part of Jerusalem. The rebels said that they attacked the American aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman as well.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out 2 specific military operations. The first targeted the Israeli enemy's Ben Gurion airport in the Jaffa area in occupied Palestine using a hypersonic ballistic missile type Palestine II. The other operation targeted the power station south of occupied Jerusalem using Zulfikar ballistic missile.
So this is the leader of the Houthis right here?
The 2 missiles hit their targets successfully.
Spokesperson? It's wild, bro. I hate those alarms, those sirens.
Now, the IDF claims in a statement that following the sirens that sounded in central Israel, a missile launched from Yemen was intercepted by the Israeli Air Force prior to crossing over into the Israeli airspace. Now, the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations has issued what he described as a final warning to the Houthis to halt their missile attacks on Israel, saying that they would otherwise risk the same miserable fate as Hamas, Hezbollah, and Syria's Bashar al-Assad.
If I can get it to work.
Envoy further added that Israel will not tolerate attacks by the Iranian proxies, warning Tehran that Israel has the ability to strike any target in West Asia,
up, Sage?
including Iran, with the help
Good to see you up in here. Good morning.
I'm saying to the leadership of the Houthis, I have a message for you today. Perhaps you have not been paying attention to the lessons of this past year. Let me remind you what happened to Hamas, to Hezbollah, to Assad.
So good.
And to all those who thought to destroy us.
You destroy us.
This is not a threat. It is a promise. You will share the same miserable fate.
The Houthis have been firing missiles and drones at Israel and also on the ships, that's predominantly the Western American-led ships in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden since October last year in solidarity with the Palestinians.
Look at that
The
shit.
United Nations experts have pointed out that Israel must face the consequences of inflicting maximum suffering on the Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip.
Look at that destruction.
Stating that Israel is defying
Dude, that destruction is hardcore right there.
International law and is being sheltered by the United States of America. The 11 experts said in a joint statement that Israel has openly defied international law time and again and continues to face no real consequences, largely due to the protection offered by its allies such as the United States. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip has now...
Hey, it sounds like you picked the correct job. You know what I mean? Hanging out over here, you know. Yeah, hey, just saying.
...risen to over 45,500.
You got it so rough,
Gaza's
Steve.
health authorities. In the past 24 hours, at least about 27 people have been killed and 149 others have been injured.
Wow, look at that shit.
And in the latest, the IDF has said that dozens of Hamas...
Look at that destruction right there. That's a wild picture.
...militants were killed in overnight ambushes in North Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp. The Israeli military
says not a threat, a promise, Israel warns Houthis.
He claims that its air force intercepted 2 rockets from northern Gaza.
All right, so see how quick that was? Now, believe it or not, what we're going to bring this to is the very next report on this was only an hour difference from the same people. So we're going to go ahead and bring that up right now so that we stay, you know, we're staying in chronological order. You know what I mean?
As tensions escalate between Israel and Yemen's Houthi group, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels say they have fired 2 missiles at Israel hours after the Israeli military said it had intercepted a projectile launched from the country. Houthis targeted Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport and a power station in south of Jerusalem. The rebels also said they attacked the American aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman.
That's awesome, JB.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out 2 specific military operations. The first targeted the Israeli enemy's Ben Gurion airport in the Jaffa area in occupied Palestine using a hypersonic ballistic missile type Palestine 2. The other operation targeted the power station
Palestine 2
south of occupied Jerusalem using Zulfikar ballistic missile. The 2 missiles hit their target successfully.
The IDF has said in a statement that following the sirens that sounded in central Israel, a missile
What's up, OI? Good to see you up in the building, by the way.
from
Good morning.
Yemen was intercepted by the Israeli Air Force prior to crossing into Israeli territory. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations has issued what he called a final warning to the Houthis to halt their missile attacks on Israel, saying that they otherwise risk the same miserable fate as Hamas, Hezbollah, and Syria's Bashar al-Assad. The United Nations envoy added that Israel will not tolerate attacks by Iranian proxies, warning Tehran that Israel has the ability to strike any target in West Asia, including Iran.
Thank you. Come again.
Saying to the leadership of the Houthis, I have a message for you today. Perhaps you have not been paying attention to the lessons of this past year.
Why are you so loud?
Let me remind you what happened to Hamas, to Hezbollah, to Assad, and to all those who thought to destroy us. This is not
What's up,
a threat.
Dega? Good morning and Happy New Year.
A promise. You will share the same miserable fate.
The Houthis have been firing missiles and drones at Israel and ships to the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden since October last year.
Guys, it's not a missile. Say it right. Missile. Yeah.
They say the attacks are in solidarity with Palestinians caught in the war in Gaza. United Nations rights experts have said that Israel must face the consequences of inflicting maximum suffering on Palestinian civilians in Gaza, alleging that Israel is defying international law and being sheltered by its allies. The 11 experts say in a joint statement that Israel has openly defied international law time and again, and continues to face no real consequences, largely due to protection offered by its allies. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on Gaza has risen to over 45,500 and this is according to Gaza's health authorities. Now, in the past 24 hours, at least 27 people were killed and 149 others were injured.
Damn, that's a lot of motherfuckers.
At least 27 people were killed and 149 others were
Damn.
injured.
That's a lot of people.
The IDF has said that dozens of Hamas militants were killed in overnight ambushes in North Gaza's Jabalia. The Israeli military also said that its air force intercepted 2 rockets from northern Gaza. And for the latest, our correspondent Jody Cohen reports from Ranana.
I spoke to a senior government official who said the Hamas terror group designed this war to cause maximum harm to the most vulnerable Gazans in order to curry favor in the international media. He said Israel is aware of the tragic situation, that it's hard to see how Hamas treats their own people, and that Israel will always do its utmost to get aid in to help Gazans in the midst of a war. He said Hamas could release the hostages and lay down their arms and the war would be over.
Brother
Meanwhile,
Joker.
negotiations for the...
Good morning, by the way. And listen, man, Happy New Year to you and yours and everybody in the chat right now. Big W to all you guys. New Year's Eve up in this bitch.
Release of the hostages who have been held captive in Gaza for 452 days appear to be faltering, but are reportedly ongoing. And with less than a month until the US inauguration, President Trump has threatened hell to pay if all 100 hostages are not home by January 20th. On the eve of the new year, there
Brother
will be
Hug Dog, my man. Good to see you, my man. And Happy New Year
many
to you
prayers
as well.
for the return of the hostages and an end to the war in 2025. This is Jody Cohen.
Yeah, JB. Yeah. We're not talking about time travelers over there in the fake country, by the way. We're not talking about that. That is that's heresy, by the way. That's heresy.
Before we on, world is one.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna make our move on over, believe it or not, to not necessarily a report, but it kind of is. It's like an AI report. But let's go ahead and check it out. This is off of Times of India. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. This is a lot of this kind of information actually is off of Telegram. And you guys can see the sources at the top left. So anyways, this was posted 2 hours ago by Times of India. It's got like no views compared to their subscriber count. But, not everyone wants to pay attention to some crazy ass shit. Anyways, Houthis New Year's Eve shocker. Tel Aviv airport, Jerusalem power station, and U.S. warship attacked. Damn, that's loud. Bring that down. Sorry for you guys wearing headphones. All right, let's bring it down quite a bit. All right. So we have multiple types of missiles being used. U.S. warship Harry S. Truman comes under attack in the Red Sea. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels launched massive attack on Israel on Tuesday. And I'm glad that they actually said Yemen's Iran-backed. Okay, because that's true. Yemen is just a proxy for the Houthis, which is owned and made and totally paid for, funded by Iran. They usually don't say that in the media. They said they have targeted the Ben Gurion airport in Tel Aviv in the first missile attack. Brother Gene Aston over there in Israel. Good to see you, my man. Appreciate you. Happy New Year, by the way. In the second attack, Houthis targeted a power station near Jerusalem. Of course they did. The Houthis used Palestine 2 and Zulfikar, I don't know how to say that, ballistic missiles in their attack. I don't know what type of ballistic missile that is. The Israeli military said late on Monday that it had shot down a missile. Missile launched from Yemen before it crossed into Israeli territory, which is fantastic. Israel is very good at protecting themselves like that. The missile was shot down with the Arrow long-range missile defense system. Interesting. Despite being intercepted outside Israeli borders and at a high altitude. Fragments continue to fall at a similar trajectory and reach Israel. Damn. Absolutely, brother KP. Be safe out there, my man. Enjoy your New Year. A large fragment crashed into the Ramat Beit Shemesh Alaf area near Jerusalem. The missile launch also caused brief interruptions at Ben Gurion Airport. That's right, Steve. Me too. Houthis also said they attacked American aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman.
نفذت القوة الصاروخية في القوات
Now
المسلحة.
he's saying right here, the missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out two specific military operations. The first targeted the Israeli enemies Ben Gurion airport in the Jaffa area.
اليمنية عمليتين عسكريتين نوعيتين. الأولى استهدفت مطار بن غوريون التابع للعدو الإسرائيلي في منطقة يافا في فلسطين المحتلة، وذلك بصاروخ باليستي فرط صوت.
To read the rest of this, it's the district of Tel Aviv, by the way. In occupied Palestine, using a hypersonic ballistic missile type Palestine 2. The other operation targeted the power station south of the occupied Jerusalem. Now, what confuses me is, do they think that they actually have the power to if you're going to attack Israel, you know what I mean? You better be able to fucking actually do it. It's all or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, this is common sense. Like, what? I just don't understand why, like, the way they move on the terroristic organizational front. I just don't understand it. Like, why do they fucking do it? Like, if you're going to do it, like, actually fucking do it, but they can't do it for real. By the way, Mr. Boulay comes in hot with the $10 gold, by the way, gold super chat, saying Happy New Year to all. Have a safe and fun time tonight. Big W. Appreciate that, Mr. Boulay. That goes very, very far. That goes to the diaper fund for my daughter. So very much it helps out the show and it helps out me, helps out my family. Shit. Couldn't be better. Martin, I know this shit is crazy. I know, homie.
نوعي فلسطين 2.
Fucking getting
العملية الأخرى استهدفت محطة الكهرباء جنوبي القدس المحتلة بصاروخ باليستي نوعي الفقار. وقد أصاب الصاروخان هدف.
Continues saying using the Zulukor ballistic missile, the two missiles hit their targets successfully.
فيهما بنجاح بفضل الله. وقد تزامنت هذه العمليتان.
Let me go ahead and bring this down. These two operations coincided with a joint operation by a naval force, missile force, and UAV force of the Yemeni armed forces that targeted aircraft carrier. Shit.
مع عملية مشتركة للقوات البحرية والقوة الصاروخية وسلاح الجو المسير في القوات المسلحة اليمنية استهدفت حاملة الطائرات الأمريكية.
So so USS Harry S. Truman using a large number of drones and cruise missiles while U.S. forces were preparing to launch a major air attack against our country. Cap, by the way.
It's not the cap.
Cap. No, we're always on standby in case you do some dumbass shit. Yeah.
هاري ترومان بعدد كبير من الطائرات المسيرة والصواريخ المجنحة أثناء تحضير القوات الأمريكية لشن هجوم جوي كبير على بلدنا.
So the Iran-backed Houthis rebels have been firing missiles and drones now at Israel and at ships in the Red Sea, which is us, by the way, and Gulf of Aden since November of 2023. Wow. They say their attacks are in solidarity with the Palestinians amid Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, which, of course, that's a good way to cope with what you're doing over there. 100%. That's a great way to sound like you're doing something righteous. Totally, by the way. Fucking terrorists. Last week, Israel carried out retaliatory strike that killed 4 people in Hana International Airport, or however you say that.
Subscribe to our YouTube
that's
channel.
Brutal. Absolutely
Don't forget
brutal.
to like our videos.
Real quick, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring this over to the live stream that is going on right now regarding this. So let me go ahead. I just popped it up. Let's go ahead and bring it on over. Boom. So this is live right here, right now. Apparently, some breaking news. Houthi hypersonic missile.
Tonight on
another one
focuses on the missile war between Israel and Yemen's Houthi forces, and this is
live right now, everybody.
A rapidly escalating conflict or another chapter in the West Asia tensions. It's a new kind of warfare with both sides striking each other relentlessly through multiple attacks and targeting key infrastructure, as the Israeli defense minister described it. It is the first ever missile war. What does that mean? Let's just first break it all down for you. For the 5th time in just 8 days, central Israel was rocked by sirens overnight. What was the cause? Another ballistic missile attack launched by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi forces.
Are you serious? Oh my God, dude. I can only imagine what it looks like while they're training and shit. Oh my God. Totally got to be embarrassing.
But the fear of falling debris triggered alarm across a wide area. Flight arrivals were halted for 30 minutes. Civilians rushed to bomb shelters in panic, leaving at least 18 people injured in the process. The Houthis, however, claim otherwise, insisting that their missile struck its target, causing casualties and halting operations at the airport, and that they executed 2 successful drone attacks, one on a ship in the Arabian Sea and the other in Israel.
At a ship? How about an American ship? That means something.
The missile force of the Yemeni
armed forces
carried out a specific military operation.
Yo, fuck this guy. How about I just pause on your ass and let it pass, because we've already heard what you've had to say twice. We got Just White up in the building, by the way, sending a beautiful $5 super chat. Aussie money, by the way. Saying hello, everyone. Happy New Year from Australia. Hey, big W. I appreciate you, Jess. Much love, honor, respect to you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful early morning. I know it's early morning and New Year, because you are in 2025. You guys, time travel over there in your fake country. Yeah, you guys, that's heresy, by the way, time traveling. Missile war means they go pew pew and we go boom boom. Yippee-ki-yay. Hey, listen, man. It does happen like that.
Like Hodeidah and Salif. Reportedly, these facilities are critical for the Houthis' operations. According to reports in Israeli media, they serve as hubs for Iranian weapons transfers and the entry points for senior Iranian officials. The strikes also caused significant damage reportedly. The air traffic control tower was severely damaged, and shattered glass could be seen covering the road and pavement.
You talking about his get down? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't even do that shit for Halloween.
The head of the World Health Organization has said that he was about to board a plane at the airport when it came under attack. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the attack was aimed at cutting off, quote unquote, the terror arm of Iran's axis of evil. Listen in.
Tonight, we light a second
She actually called it the axis of evil, by the way, regards to Iran.
Of the Maccabees today. A little while ago, the Air Force attacked targets of the Houthi terrorist organization in Yemen, both on the coastline and in Sana'a. We are determined to root out this terrorist arm of Iran's axis of evil.
Wow.
We will persist in this until we complete the job.
That's awesome, OI. Happy birthday to her as well.
Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, has said that the Israelis will hunt down Houthi leaders and continue retaliatory strikes until the job is done. Listen.
Yeah, that's no cap.
Stop the cap.
She ain't capping.
Force hitting specific Houthi targets in Yemen, at the airport, at the port, as we said. Whoever hurts Israel, we will hurt them.
Absolutely.
We will hunt down all the Houthi leaders, hit them as we have done elsewhere. No one will be able to escape Israel's long measure. We will attack them in order to remove threats to the state of Israel.
But let's just take a step back here for a moment. What really is fueling this unprecedented escalation?
Now, just like Christmas, by the way, just like Christmas, unfortunately, the mainstream media is not really, at least here in America, they're not focused really on what's happening around the world. They're more focused on like, okay, it's New Year's Eve, blah, blah, blah. So they're showing off, which is fantastic. You know, I'm glad that they're showing off the greatness in our country. I'm really glad about that. But I keep my eye on the prize. You know what I mean? Like I've got my eye on this shit, because especially during times like this is when things happen and it's no one knows because it's all covered up. So I keep my eye open for what's really happening and what is really important at the moment. Yeah.
Just for thwarting ballistic missile attacks on the rise. You see, Israel's famed Iron Dome has been breached on multiple occasions this year, especially during Iran's missile and rocket attacks in October, increasing the importance of Arrow 3 missiles. And even as the battle unfolds in the skies, accusations of war crimes are surfacing. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned of the risks of further escalation. He called for restraint, emphasizing that strikes on Red Sea ports and Sana'a airport endanger critical humanitarian operations, adding that millions in Yemen rely on these facilities for life-saving aid. Iran has also condemned Israel's actions. Iran described the airstrike.
Iran fucking condemned Israel? What, the biggest terrorist fucking state of the entire globe? In the entire globe, the biggest terroristic state, and you guys are condemning Israel? Stop the cat.
Strikes, Houthi leaders
play all into that
swift
shit.
Retaliation. The stakes are higher than ever. This conflict is no longer confined to the borders of Yemen or Israel. It's spilling over into the Red Sea, the Arabian Sea, Tel Aviv suburbs, and beyond. At this point, the immediate question is, how far will things go really? With both sides targeting strategic and symbolic assets, the potential for widespread catastrophic devastation is growing by the day. Israel is ramping up its missile defenses and striking back. The Houthis, supported by Iran, are showing no signs of backing down. Absolutely. What happens next in this war defined by advanced weaponry and new strategies is anybody's guess.
All right, now to give us
That
more
is true,
perspective
Pablo.
in terms of what is unfolding at this moment in this war in West Asia, we're joined by Professor Scott Lucas, who's a professor of international politics at the Clinton Institute University College in Dublin. He's joined us live in this broadcast. Now, Professor Lucas, thank you very much indeed, sir, for speaking to us here on Beyond. Let me start off by asking...
Absolutely, by the way, Jess. I may pop in for a little bit, but today's a very busy day for me. I got to get prepared for... I mean, we have people that are flying in today. You know, friends and family. So we've got a lot going on today. I may, like right after the show, I'll probably hop on for a little bit, but I won't be able to hang for very long. But, go ahead and start your stream in about 15 minutes, because I'll raid you. This is not going to be like a super long show. This is not going to be like an hour and a half ordeal. This is going to be under an hour. So we're already 34 minutes in.
Here, we can still fight Israel. Now, in reality, in the past 10 days, we're talking about 5 ballistic missiles, 5 drones. I don't want to play that down, but you've only had 2 missiles which got through.
I'm prepared for that shit, Martin. I'm prepared.
One hit a park, one hit an empty school.
Mentally.
The Israeli response, of course, in part is to say to the Houthis, you can't do this, we'll hit you back. And so they hit overnight Sana'a airport. They hit several ports, killing 6 people. But the Israeli response is also tied to domestic issues. And that is that as Benjamin Netanyahu...
Tonight is makers, man. Tonight is an all-night makers night. You know what I mean? Here in the South, I don't know why those stupid big makers bottles, those things are $70 here. I don't understand that. Like in California, that shit is like $40. I don't understand, but everything else is cheaper here except for fucking that. I don't understand that. Anyways, back to this.
Now ongoing. And just yesterday, his wife has been accused of witness intimidation.
Interesting. Those are some of the pressing domestic issues. Do continue to stay on with us. This, of course, is a big story that we are tracking here on Beyond. These are tit-for-tat attacks, and the logic that is being given is that Netanyahu's intention is now to do to the Houthis what he has done.
Hey, If you're going to call it out, at least be correct. I drink those all the time. Absolutely. But not today. It's a maker's kind of day. And homie over here, Steve. Yeah, no, I see you. I see you. It's time, homie. I'm going to fire this motherfucker up. It's time.
Is to have this phase of the campaign by the Israelis, of course, proceeds. Remember, Benjamin Netanyahu is also at this moment facing serious charges of corruption. And we have with us Professor Scott Lucas.
I always appreciate you, by the way, Jess. Always.
Lucas, you were speaking about a very important aspect where you're saying that this is a war that Netanyahu cannot stop fighting because he's also facing these serious charges of corruption. And the minute the war in the Gaza Strip were to come to an end, possibly Netanyahu may in fact be prosecuted in the cases of corruption that he's facing, and he could end up losing his political career. Is that what the calculation is for Netanyahu?
I think that's been the calculation for Benjamin Netanyahu ever since October 2023. Now, I don't want to downplay the fact that Hamas, because of its mass killing inside Israel, of course, gave Netanyahu the legitimacy to attack Gaza and to continue attacking Gaza, as well as to attack other countries, such as Yemen. But I think we are at the point where if Netanyahu cannot
absolutely, brother Papa, be safe out there tonight. It's going to be wild for everybody.
That some alive,
everyone's got to be safe.
He cannot satisfy the basic desire of the Israeli people. We want all our fellow citizens back, and if he can't satisfy that desire, he's the one who will be held accountable for what will be seen as a failure. So what do? You just keep attacking. So while we talk about the attacks on Yemen, in the past 24 hours in Gaza, we've seen attacks on 3 hospitals, for example, one of them being raided by the Israelis today, and we've seen 5 journalists amongst the latest casualties.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Professor Scott Lucas, for joining us and getting us all those details there.
Thank you.
In a fresh attack on Israel, Yemen's Houthi rebels have claimed they fired a ballistic missile at central Israel. Israeli forces have stated that they intercepted it.
Yeah, they did. Hey, by the way, real quick, because this guy, I don't need to hear him speak again. I mean, they're trying for the 4th time. They really love this guy on this channel. I don't understand. But anyways, yeah, because he's the Houthi spokesperson. Whatever. Anyways, guys, real quick, a little halt to the show. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free. Also, you know what? I just remembered. I told you guys not to let me forget in the very beginning of the show, and I totally forgot. And I should not be forgetting. So I missed a Cash App donation, by the way, yesterday at the end of my show. And I'm glad that we're doing it now because there's more people here to hear me what I'm going to say anyways. So when I got off the show, I had noticed I had gotten a Cash App donation. I was like, oh shit, I missed it. When I went in and saw it, Mr. had sent me $100 on Cash App and just said, for like, all he said in it was, from Mr. Great show today. That's it, man. Wow. Totally selfless, by the way. Totally fucking selfless. Hank, by the way, basically that the U.S. was going to attack Yemen with the Houthis, that we were going to attack him, and we were not. We were not going to do that. We have our aircraft carriers around the globe, especially in the Red Sea as well, but we have them around the globe, and that is for when motherfuckers do act a fool. We're right there, and so they used us as kind of just a target, for Israel, yeah. Anyways.
USS هاري تورمان وعدد من المدمرات التابعة لها بالتزامن مع بدء الهجوم العدواني مساء يوم أمس على بلدنا ونفذت العملية.
Bruh, where are the fucking translations? I mean, the first 3 times they showed him, they had the translator. Where's the translator?
وذلك أثناء محاولة المدمرات التصدي للمسيرات والصواريخ اليمنية.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned that Houthi rebels in Yemen will learn what Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Assad regime have learned. As tensions with the Houthis escalate, the Prime Minister vowed on the first day of Hanukkah that Israel will continue to strike the enemies.
We are striking the enemies and those who thought they will sever our lives here, so it will apply to everyone. The Houthis too will learn what Hamas and Hezbollah and Assad's regime and others learned. And even if it takes time, this lesson will be learned across the Middle East.
This comes after.
Yep, that's what they did use, is not only missiles, but they used drones to attack the USS. Man, I'm forgetting the name of the actual aircraft carrier, but nonetheless, the one in the Red Sea.
The Houthi group says it carried out
one of them in the Red
operations
Sea,
targeting Israeli positions in the past day. Houthi military spokesperson
absolutely hooked dog. Much love, honor, respect, my man.
Has said the first operation targeted a sensitive and vital target in Tel Aviv, while the second drone
airstrike got the translator huggy.
Area of
Good to see you, man.
Southern Israel.
Look at that
As
shit.
Israel battles
That is a wild scene.
Or more than a few
Adriano, good to see you. Happy New Year's.
Reservists in a military camp in the north celebrated the first day of Hanukkah.
Much love, honor, and respect to you. Appreciate you being in here.
Held a candlelit ceremony and sang and even danced to mark the annual holiday. Meanwhile, efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza continues. President Isaac Herzog has urged Israeli leaders to use all their power and means to secure a deal for the release of hostages still held in Gaza. The latest, Egypt's foreign minister has said his country is working with Qatar to secure a ceasefire deal that would also allow aid into the Palestinian enclave.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy that you actually actively go through that shit, Dean. For the people that do not know, this man right here, he lives like 700 meters away from the fucking Gaza border. You know, he's right there. And man, that's got to be hardcore to go through and deal with. Just that, just alone, just knowing that there's just terrorism all around you, you know, that's got to be hard to deal with.
The enemies and those who thought they will sever our lives here.
You too,
so
Jess.
Apply to everyone.
In a bit.
The Houthis too will learn what Hamas and Hezbollah and Assad's regime and others learned. And even if it takes time, this lesson will be learned across the Middle East.
This comes after a missile launched from Yemen triggered air raid sirens.
Can't help myself. I gotta say
Israel, sending millions of residents looking for cover for the second night in a row. This was the fourth time in a week that fire from the Houthis set off sirens in Israel. The Houthi rebels say they carried out 2 drone operations targeting Israeli positions in the past day. Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sarrier has said the first operation targeted a sensitive and vital target in Tel Aviv.
Look at that shit. Interceptions.
Targeted a military industrial area of Ashkelon in southern Israel.
As
Israel battles conflicts on more than a few fronts, reservists in a military camp in northern Israel celebrated the first day of Hanukkah. The men near the border with Lebanon held a candlelit ceremony and sang and danced to mark the annual holiday. Meanwhile, efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza continues. President Isaac Herzog has urged Israeli leaders to use all their power and means to secure a deal for the release of hostages still held in Gaza. The latest, Egypt's foreign minister has said his country is working with Qatar to secure a ceasefire deal that would also allow aid into the Palestinian enclave. The conflict between Israel and Yemen's Houthis is escalating. Latest developments just indicate that Israeli forces say they have targeted military sites in Yemen. Israeli Air Force claims that their jets conducted intelligence-based strikes on military targets of the Houthis in response to the rebel group's attacks against Israel.
This is happening right now.
From Yemen triggered air raid sirens across central Israel, sending millions of residents looking for cover for the second night in a row. This was the fourth time in a week that fire from the Houthis.
Okay, they're just going through the headlines right now regarding it.
The Houthi group says
Brother Beezer, my man, Happy New Year.
Israeli
Good to see you, man.
Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sarrier has said the first operation targeted a sensitive and vital target in Tel Aviv, while the second drone targeted a military industrial area of Ashkelon in southern Israel. We are receiving reports that There have been casualties in this strike, and it is being reported that 3 people have lost their lives in this strike. We are yet to confirm the details of this latest developments, but as it stands right now, we are being informed that 3 people have lost their lives following this strike.
And we stay with news from West Asia. Exchanges of fire between Yemen Houthi rebels and Israeli forces have escalated this week. This development comes right after Yemen's capital of Sana'a was hit by Israeli strikes. Now, the visuals released by Yemen's media show the exact moment when the strike hit Sana'a airport. Israel said it was targeting military infrastructure in Thursday's raids and the targets around the country. The top UN official for humanitarian aid in Yemen, who narrowly dodged an aerial bombing raid by Israel on airport, denied Israeli claims, saying that the airport is a civilian location.
What was most frightening about that airstrike wasn't the effect on us, is that the airstrikes took place as a civilian airliner from Yemen Air, carrying hundreds of Yemenis, was about to land. And in fact,
this is the UN humanitarian guy,
air traffic control was destroyed.
Civilians took to the streets of Sana'a to demonstrate against recent Israeli strikes and in solidarity with Gaza.
Shit's a fucking, that's crazy.
The equation has changed and has become targeting airport for airport, port for port, and infrastructure for infrastructure. We will not get tired or bored of supporting our brothers in Gaza.
You're just a resident, homie. Relax.
As year 2024 draws to a close, Palestinians in Gaza continue to suffer from Israel's blanket bombings. On Friday, Israeli forces raided one of Gaza's last functioning hospitals. IDF ordered dozens of patients and hundreds of others to evacuate the burning site.
Yo, we got Ireland up in the building. Shout out to Tom up in here. Hey, appreciate you for joining us. Much love, honor, respect to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're having a wonderful New Year's, by the way. I know that we all definitely are.
And we as paramedics got to the closest point despite the dangers and evacuated a large number of patients.
The World Health Organization said that 60 health workers and 25 patients are in critical condition, including some on ventilators. They reportedly remain in the hospital. In the past 24 hours, Palestinian health ministries say that Israeli bombings have killed 48 civilians in the besieged enclave.
They said 48 civilians in 24
airstrike
hours.
hit Yemen's rebel-held capital Sana'a on Friday, following claims by the Iran-backed Houthis that they launched new attacks on Israel.
Oh, she's way better looking, by the way.
After Israeli air raids targeted Sana'a International Airport and other locations in Yemen on Thursday. Footage showed the Director General running for cover during the airport attack. A UN team injured in the strike has since reached Jordan for medical assistance. The United Nations has denied Israel's claim that the Sana'a airport served military purposes.
Really quick. Shit. All right, let's see right here. We have a $5 Cash App, dude, from my boy Martin, my man, saying, Happy New Year from Beast, Pennsylvania. Got it, homie. Usually I'm really bad about seeing, because I wish that it had like a notification, and I wish it was on my monitor somewhere where I could do it, but it's off of my phone and email and all that bullshit. So anyways, thank you for that, kind sir. It definitely adds up and helps out the show immensely. So, all of that I'm very, very grateful for, by the way. I never believe the numbers they give. It's got to be much higher in my opinion. Yeah. The truth is the numbers that are given out are going to be trying to fit some sort of narrative, whether it's, let's just say in this example, the Palestinians narrative or the Israeli narrative. Israel's going to claim less, Palestinians are going to claim more. That's just kind of the way it goes, you know. But hey, Jess White coming in, by the way, gifting 5 fucking memberships out to you guys. Wow, I hope they dispersed, man, because we're on a bad topic right now for it to happen. Wow, it actually dispersed. Let's go. You guys got it. Let's go. Hey, much love and honor, respect to you, Jess. I very much appreciate that. And you're helping out not only me, you're helping out the community as well. Thank you for that.
وهن اللي حرمت ما هن اللي هذول لجيراننا يعني يوم ما غرقت البحر اخذ كل حاجه كانت عند
Yemen's Iran-backed
What's
Houthi
up,
rebels
Jay?
fired
I
a
see you.
missile at Israel's Ben Gurion airport. The fresh attack has come after the Israeli airstrikes on the Sana'a International Airport in Yemen. The Israeli Defense Ministry says that the threat is in fact in the skies. And our next report takes a look at this new missile war in West Asia.
Look at that shit. Destruction like a motherfucker.
The fighting between
That's
Houthis and Israeli
all you
forces
can
is
do.
intensifying by the hour.
By
Both
the hour,
Ben Gurion
yep.
Airport and Sana'a's International Airport are under fierce attack.
Mm.
A wave of Israeli air attacks hit Yemen's main airport. Panicked passengers can be seen rushing out of the terminal in Sana'a. World Health Organization's Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus was just meters away from the attack on Sana'a Airport when it came under aerial bombardment. The Israeli military says it attacked infrastructure used by Houthis at the international airport in the capital, Sana'a.
Shit.
These images show broken windows, collapsed ceilings, the damage at the airport after Israel strikes. IDF also attacked power stations and ports, alleging they were used to smuggle in.
Listen, PayPal for me is fantastic, so I very much appreciate you, my man. It definitely goes a long way.
Missiles targeting Ben Gurion Airport near Tel Aviv, while simultaneously deploying drones against the city and a vessel in the Arabian
Are you talking
Sea.
about my nicotine one or my left-handed tobacco one? My left-handed tobacco one was like $35, where it's the incognito. You know what I mean? Shit. Boom. You know? And then this one was like $25-$30. That's it. Yeah. Shit.
An hour. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warns of more strikes against Houthi positions.
A short time ago, the Israeli Air Force attacked targets of the Houthi terror organization in Yemen, both on the coastline and in Sana'a. We are determined to cut off this terrorist arm of Iran's evil axis. We will persist in this until the job is done.
Israel's defense ministry is now expanding the procurement program for the Arrow 3 interceptor that is designed to counter ballistic missiles outside Earth's atmosphere. Israel's comprehensive air defense system, comprising the Iron Dome, David's Sling, and
The reason why they're not compelled to tell the truth is because them telling the truth, listen, this is the way that the media works. And this is an overall blanket statement. Lies and manipulation equals what? Money. That's why.
Moving on, IDF says a missile fired from Yemen that triggered sirens in Jerusalem and Red Sea areas was shot down before entering the Israeli territory. On Friday, fresh aid strike hit Yemen's rebel-held capital Sana'a following claims by Iran.
Really quick, man. Beezer, thank you for letting me know in the chat, because sometimes it is hard for me. You know, it's way better when you guys let me know, like, hey, check your Cash App or something like that, you know. Beezer comes in hot, by the way, with the $30 donation saying, for you and your old man, have a drink on me. We definitely will, kind sir. Thank you for that. You know, we're drinking good tonight. You know what I mean? We're going to be partying it up like a motherfucker. And we got, let's just say, this bitch over here, it looks like Israel with our fireworks. I mean, we got, dude, if you guys saw the video on my Instagram, you guys, like, if you guys didn't see it, and if you did, you'd be like, oh shit, motherfucker got it right now. So we're firing them off. And so we'll be live tonight, by the way, when we're shooting them off. I'm going to be live on YouTube, live streaming it. So just a little side note, it's not anything that you guys have to pull up for or anything, but I will be live streaming it. So if you happen to be bored or whatever, hanging out, got a spare extra few minutes or whatever, come hang out with us. You know, it'll be a good time.
waved flags and chanted slogans
Thank you,
against
by the way,
Israel
Beezer.
and the US. Meanwhile, in Gaza, the Palestinian
Brother
death toll
Code.
from Israeli
What's up,
strikes has
man?
surged to over
God bless.
45,000,
Happy
with
New
more
Year,
than
man.
100,000 injured. And they have been injured in the attacks in the last 24 hours, which have ravaged hospitals and killed
100% Beezer.
Palestinians, injuring 98. Israeli forces reportedly set fire to Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza, forcing patients and staff to evacuate before torching large sections of the facility. Displaced families living in makeshift camps, they are now facing freezing temperatures, resulting in multiple deaths, including 3 infants. Gaza's humanitarian crisis has worsened as winter deepens, with residents struggling to stay warm and safe.
الليل صقعة غير طبيعية على البحر، وانت شايف الخيمة كلها موزعة وشرايط وهذا، وربنا اللي بستر. والله الأولاد هذول أقسم بالله أنا بتقطع أنا وأمهم بالحاف واحد.
You know, I heard a little bit about something that was going on about this, but not to the fullest extent. But the honest truth is my main focus has been lately, I would say the last at least 6 months, at least. It's been the entire world. I'm not even looking at biker news, you know what I mean, anymore. But that is terrible. That's terrible for the entire fucking culture right now. Damn. Well, I mean, listen, unfortunately, I knew that kind of shit is just bound to happen. It just is. Anything good
the missile force
doesn't last. I don't know why.
Targeted a military target of the Israeli enemy.
Maybe we ruin it ourselves.
Jaffa, using a hypersonic ballistic missile of the Palestine II type. The operation successfully achieved its objectives by the grace of Allah.
I'm going to let this play because Hank was asking, well, what did he say? Oh, well,
the incoming Houthi missiles set off sirens over many areas across central Israel, reportedly sending millions of Israelis scrambling to reach bomb shelters.
Martin, that's usually how I am, by the way. Boom, boom, boom. Interceptions.
The sirens were activated as a precautionary measure against falling fragments from the interception. 9 people were reportedly injured as they ran to the bomb shelters. Senior Houthi official Hezam al-Assad later posted on X, "How long can 4 million people be in shelters?" As we mentioned earlier, this is the 4th time in less than a week that the Houthis have fired a missile at Israel. In the past 10 days, in fact, the Houthis have reportedly launched 5 ballistic missiles and at least 4 drones at Israel.
That is fucking base as fuck that she just told the truth right there on that shit. Yep.
Landed in the Israeli city of
Good on this woman.
The Shvela region, and in Modi'in. On Tuesday morning, sirens once again blared across central Israel as Houthis launched a ballistic...
Right there, that's the big saving grace right there for the Supreme Court.
On Saturday, a Houthi missile reportedly made its way past Israeli air defense systems, striking a park in Jaffa, south of Tel Aviv, injuring 16 people. Following Tuesday's attack, the Israeli defense minister has threatened that security forces will begin targeting Houthi leaders as well, while the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a video statement, has said that Israel will act against the Houthis with force and determination.
Oh, no shit.
As the Houthis launch yet another strike on Israel, what will Israel's response look like? What is in store for West Asia?
Situation remains tense in Israel as Yemen's Houthi rebels claim that they had fired a ballistic missile at central Israel, with Israeli forces saying they intercepted the attack.
Honestly, I think within the in the first 6 months, Russia, Ukraine, this is my prediction, okay? The first 6 months of Trump's presidency, this is my belief, is that Russia, Ukraine is going to be negotiated. Now, regarding the shit that you're talking about in the Middle East, that shit is never ending. That's never stopped. That's never going to stop. Hence why we can't take the bait regards to Iran, to the regards to like Syria, regards to Yemen, all of that. You know what I mean? We really need not to take the fucking bait on shit. Now, for instance, though, the Houthis did attack U.S. troops. So because of that, now, I mean, you just attacked us. So I'm a firm believer, if you attack us, then we're going to fuck you up. But in the sense of if you can figure out, I don't know how bad, like hopefully everything got intercepted or whatever the case is. And there, you know, that hopefully there was no, because they didn't report any deaths or anything like that in regards to the aircraft carriers. So I'm guessing they got shot down out, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the regards to the Middle East, I don't think it's ever going to like be to the point where it's peaceful. I think that it's a born ideology. It's basically taught to you as your mindset is the worldview is completely fucking different. I mean, you are indoctrinated to understand terrorism, and that is your job and duty. That is your like belief system. Even if you do carpet bomb these motherfuckers, let's just say you do. Okay, we do that. The truth is, these motherfuckers always go underground and then come right back just like fucking cockroaches. You're never going to get rid of that ideology. It's just not going to happen. It's unfortunate. It's one of those, like, you have to be realistic and not idealistic. And that's the way I look at the Middle East. The reason why I focus on so much of the Middle East is because our money goes to it. Now, if the United States money wasn't going to it, I would not be as obligated to report on what I do. But when it's our money as Americans, it is my duty to observe and follow the money. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So anyways, much love, honor, respect to all of you legends. Appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful morning. Thank you guys for supporting the show. Just being here is humongous support. Hitting that like button is the number one way that it tells YouTube, hey, we're doing something right over here. As well as, you know, the actual kind donations, man, to the channel, as well as the cash apps, man. I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for your endless support. And listen, man, hopefully you guys have a wonderful and safe New Year's Eve or New Year's, right? And enjoy tonight. But make sure you guys, I don't want to hear how anyone got hurt, you know, with either fireworks or they got in and made a bad decision, got in a car while they were drinking or something like that, and they were driving. Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. So you guys have a responsibility. Much love, honor, respect to you guys. And we're going to be raiding our friend Jess White over there. So go ahead and let her know that we're raiding. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness. See you guys. God bless.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.